Hello. Since I'm finished with my first journal, I'm going to be starting on a second one. This journal is actually a little bit larger than the other one. It's 9 inches wide by 12 inches tall. So it's a pretty big journal. And for my first page, I decided to use this picture. It's very soft with the pink and the white, with him lying in bed. So I decided to go with very soft colors. I wanted to keep it very light looking. And so I picked out some paper, all pink-ish papers. So the first thing that I thought of out of the supplies that I have is this. It's a handmade paper. It has fibers in it. It's see-through, as you can see, but it's a very pretty pink. And when I put the picture on top, it looks pretty nice. Goes well, so I like this one. And then the second paper that I found, this one I cut down to 9 by 12 already. It has very soft colors also, very light pink and white. It has a little bit of light green and some writing on it, but it's overall it has a very light feel that I like. The pink is slightly different, but it's still okay. And then I found this rose paper, which I also liked, and if I put the picture on top, it goes fairly well. I like the way that looks. And then on the back side of this one, it has these little cutouts. And I actually ended up using these two. This one says beautiful, and this one says sweet. I'll show you how I use those. And then kind of to match the dark roses on here, I picked out some dark pink paper. I'm going to use this to mat the photo, give it a little bit of pop. And then these are just some cutouts that I have. This one was cut out from a paper. This one is from a ephemera sheet. And this little butterfly I also cut out from paper. So I'm going to be using these as embellishments. And then the last paper that I found is this one. It's blue, but I like the center part. So I actually cut it out already. I cut this part out. I fussy cut the flowers. I'm going to keep this in case I want to use the blue for something else. And then I cut out the center also because, you know, the photograph will be covering the center. And I like the writing, so I want to be able to use that for something else. So this is what I ended up with. And I fussy cut the scissors. Fussy cut the flowers. And I also use an X-Acto knife to cut underneath these two flowers in this leaf. I'm going to be tucking things underneath there. Okay, so this picture will first go on top of this pink, dark pink mat, like so. And I think this pink, the dark pink, helps this picture kind of pop out a little bit. So I have my handy dandy tape glider. You don't need this if you're going to make a scrapbook page. I have it and I like to use it. So I'm going to mat this here on top of this dark pink. And then this will go on top of this paper, the light pink. So it's going to go on top like this, and that kind of softens the dark pink and gives it a slightly lighter look to it, kind of like almost floating on a cloud type of look. It softens the edges of this dark pink. You don't have to tape all the edges because it's not going anywhere. If it was a card or something, I would tape around the whole thing, but this is going to stay pretty flat, so just the top and the bottom. And then this will go on top of this picture frame. It's going to sit on top of here, but this edge is actually going to get tucked under the flowers here. I might have to adjust that a little bit, but so then again on this, I tape to the top and the bottom of the picture. Tuck this under. Actually, I think I'm going to cut that a little bit. gonna go like this. I have to adjust that a little. Where's my scissors? So if things don't work out the way you want it to, let me see. I'm going to cut this down just a little bit more. So I'm going to cut the frame down a little further down the stem and just tuck this entirely under there. If I can. This works better if you do it before you tape it down. It was working okay before. See, sometimes things don't work out perfect the first time, and that is perfectly fine. We'll manage. It all works out in the end. So I'm just going to tuck this under. And it doesn't really matter if it shows or not because it's going to have a lot of other stuff. Okay. Then push that down so that it's sticking. All right. So this is my matted frame. And then underneath this frame, I'm going to add this only to the top corner. So it's going to kind of peek out of the top like this. So it's on that corner. Make sure you put tape on the right corner. Okay. And this will get taped down here. Like so. These widths that I leave, it's really arbitrary. It's whatever I feel like doing at the moment. You can make it larger, you can make it smaller, but I like it this way. Okay, and now I'm going to embellish this front part. So I have my embellishments here. This flower, this one is a flat one. I'm going to tuck this one under here, like so. So that kind of sticks out. Okay. Let's see. This flower, I'm going to, or maybe I should do the key first. I'm going to do my key first. Okay, so this key, I'm going to tuck under here. It's going to go underneath these cutout flowers in the leaf and come right up to the edge of the pink, or maybe a little bit past the edge of the pink, like that. And then this one is going to get stuck under the leaf on top of the key in the corner like this. I don't want it to overlap the little flower. And then this flower, I'm going to stick up here. The stem I'm going to stick underneath the leaf, the pink, dark pink leaf. Maybe not. Okay. I'm going to stick it just very slightly under here and above the key. Okay. And then this leaf, I'm going to put tape on a few of the leaves. So it stays down a little bit flatter. This one's a little bit more delicate. Oops. A little bit more delicate because the stem of the leaf is so thin. So I want to put tape on all the leaves to hold it down. This one I'm going to tuck up here like this. That other flower's a little bit too high. I'll stick it under the pink one. Like that. And this one that tore off, just going to tuck it under here, like so. And then I have a butterfly. And the butterfly stick over here to cover up that space there. Okay, so that is going to be the matted picture. Now for the background, this is my background, and I could, sorry, my frame, I could just place this like this, and that looks okay, but it's not as visible. Like the dark pink is quite visible, but around here, everything is so soft and around the same color that it doesn't really show. So I cut a little bit more of this, the fibers paper, and I'm going to put one over here and one on this side. It's not going to go the whole length of the page, it's just going to go up slightly all the way to the bottom. So it's going to go from the top, and you leave it maybe like that, 3/8 of an inch from the edge. This one I'm going to leave it maybe like a 1/4 of an inch from the edge, and that it gives it like a softer look here, so then the colors of the flower and the leaves pop out a little bit more than it did when it was just on the paper. Okay, so I'm going to tape that down. Okay, I'm going to tape that down, so about here. I hope it's straight. Okay, that's on that side. And then this one. On this side. Like so. And then when this comes on top of here, you can see the flowers and the leaves a little bit better. But it's still, to me, it still looks a little empty. And so I took this rose paper and I cut out a strip of the flowers, and the edges are straight because it's going to go on the edges of the pages, but the top and the bottom I tore, and the tearing gives it a little bit of a softer look than a straight edge. And this I'm going to place underneath the bottom like that. I'm going to put underneath like this. And then on the back side, I mentioned that I wanted to use these two, right? So I cut them out, and originally I cut them out as the square, but again, because I tore the edges on this one, I wanted to soften these as well. So I tore the Be Beautiful, I tore around the word, and then on the bottom, this one I'm going to tuck up here. And then the Sweet, likewise, I tore around the sides, but I left the bottom because this one's going to go straight on the bottom here. I'm going to tuck it underneath the picture, matted picture. And so this side, a little bit of the top and the right side is going to show. So this will be like this. And I want the Sweet to be visible. So I want to make sure that I leave enough room for the Sweet to be visible. And then the Be Beautiful, I want the words to be shown. So this is going to go straight up against the edge of the paper, above this flower. And I'm going to tape it down like that. I think. Move it over a little bit more. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so what should I tape down first? I'm going to tape down the rose paper first. Okay, where's the top? There's writing on this paper, so you want to make sure that the writing faces the top. I'm going to place it right here. Okay. And then I'm going to tape down the Sweet, because that was the next thing, the next layer. Okay, tape that down here. Okay, and then this will go on top here like this. Make sure I have enough room. I might have to cut the beautiful a little bit of the silver. Okay. You know what? I think I'm gonna move. Yeah. I'm gonna move, because this is fibrous, it comes off the paper really easily. I'm gonna move it over to the edge. I'm not gonna leave a little bit. I'm gonna move it all the way to the edge. Okay. And then this is really strong adhesive, so if it was paper, it would probably tear the paper if I tried to lift it up. But because of the fiber of that pink paper, the fibrousness of it, it lifts up pretty easily. This I want to make sure. I'm going to get it as close to the edge on this side, so there's plenty of room over there. Okay. Tape it down there, and then the last one is to tape down the beautiful. Okay. Alrighty. This is my finished page. I am going to add some sparkle because I like sparkle. I'm going to add it with a Wink of Stella. This is silver. I'm going to add a little bit of sparkle to the butterfly and the flowers over on this side. So I'm not sure if the camera will pick up on the sparkle, but the sparkles are really pretty. I'm running out. I'll see if I can try to get the sparkles on the camera. Should I do the darker leaves too? Should I do all the leaves as well? What do you think? Let me try the flowers first and then I'll see. Okay. Let me see if I can catch the sparkle. Can you see the sparkle? I can't tell. But it's there and it's really pretty. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it on the flowers and the butterflies. I don't think I need it on the leaves. Okay, so right now I'm going to stop here, but I may end up adding some pink gems. It looks a little bit empty, so I think I might add a little bit of pink gems or some sequins. We'll see. Some of my supplies, and I found this little swirls. I really like using swirls, so I thought I might use this. I had 2 sheets of this, so I took one and I actually cut it apart. It's easier to use to figure out where I want stuff to be. This one is from another sheet that I had left over, and then these are the cut pieces from that sheet. And what I'm going to do is I am going to use this big swirl. I'm going to put this on this side, and I don't like how it's hanging, so I am going to use part of this, kind of have it come underneath right to where the key is. I'm going to cut it here. Let's see. Don't want to go too far. Okay, so I'm going to cut it right where the 2 strands start. So I'm just going to use this part. I'm going to add that right there, make it a little bit longer like that. And then this long one, this long swirl, I'm going to put up here, and I'm going to place it behind the leaves. So because it only has a little bit of tape, I can lift them up pretty easily. And I'm going to place this swirl on this side, and it's going to come all the way down to where the butterfly is and go up the side like that. So I will do that. I'll put this one on first. The only thing you have to be careful with these swirls is sometimes if they've been sitting around for a long time, the gems can actually fall off the adhesive. If it does do that, all you have to do is use liquid glue, and you can glue it down. Use clear liquid glue, and it will adhere again. So I'm going to do it this way. See, just double check that this will be long enough. Okay, stick it down. And again, if it doesn't stick, this one is kind of old. So if it doesn't stick, you can always use liquid glue. If the gems fall off, you can use liquid glue and it'll fix it right up. This one I'm going to add right here. Make it go up a little. To right where the key is. Like that. So you can barely tell that it was two separate pieces if you line it up well. And then this one, the big swirl. This one is older, so this one might actually have a few that fall off. I might have to glue on. Ooh, there we go. So there's how many? 3 that fell off. They're here somewhere. 1, 2. You have to look for the third one somewhere. Small one fell off. Oh my goodness, this one is really old. Okay, I'm gonna have to glue on a lot of them. That's annoying. So it's just that the adhesive got really old. I'm gonna lift up the flower, stick it under here. This one's not going on as well. Where's my tweezers? I need a little help. Getting this one where I want it to be. Yeah, and again, you know, with the gems also, it would be much easier to do if I thought of this first. I applied it before I put on the flowers. But if you're like me and you think of things after the fact, it is still doable. A little bit tricky, but doable. Ha, there. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go and off camera, I'm going to glue all these little sequins back on. It'll be nice and pretty. So if you like sparkles, this is also something else you can do. I was thinking of adding like sequins and stuff, but honestly, I'm not really good at doing that. It's not really quite my style. I mean, I love how it looks, but I'm horrible at placing sequins in the right place. It always looks off to me. I'm much better at doing this. So yeah, after I glue these on, I'll take a picture and I will post the final picture, but I think that's good. I think I'll stop there. Okay, so here's the finished page with all the gems glued back on, and you can see once the glue dries, you can't tell that they were glued because the glue dries clear. And I added 3 more right up here in the corner just to balance it out a little bit. So yeah, this is my finished page. Hope you enjoyed the video.